I think the Democrats know that we know they cheated on the election, and there's no hiding it anymore. They use this as some sort of contingency plan. It leads me to wonder what happened before this or during this that made Michael D. Cohen change. Maybe he himself had said affair with Stormy Daniels. I don't know. I don't know. Hello everyone, it's your girl Super Mellow Yellow here, and today I would like to discuss the Stormy Daniels case that's been going on. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and now let's get on to the video. And I have a whole entire document set up for things I want to discuss. There are a lot of rabbit holes that I have uncovered in the midst of this whole case that's been going on. President Trump released 2 pieces of evidence. He released them on the social media application network Truth Social. So firstly, I want to discuss the Stormy Daniels letter. Now, I think a lot of people have seen this already. It was published in 2018 on TMZ magazine. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of you are very familiar with that letter, with Stormy Daniels saying herself that she did not receive any hush money. The letter I have pulled up right now is a letter from Michael Cohen's lawyer. Who is Michael Cohen? Michael Cohen was a lawyer, from what I can gather on the internet. From what I gather on the internet, Michael Cohen was a personal lawyer for President Trump. He'll say I'd want to say around the election. Firstly, I would like to read this letter out. I am writing on behalf of my client, Michael D. Cohen, in response to your letter dated January 30th, 2018. Specifically, this letter responds to the complaint numbered MUR 7313, which was filed with the Federal Election Commission by Common Cause and Paul S. Ryan. I think we know that name from somewhere. In a private transaction in 2016, before the U.S. presidential election, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Mrs. Stephanie Clifford. Neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transactions with Mrs. Clifford, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. Contrary to the allegation in the complaint, which are entirely speculative, neither Mr. Cohen nor Essential Consultants made any in-kind contributions to Donald J. Trump for president or any other presidential campaign committee. Mr. Cohen has not been a government employee during any of the relevant time period. The payment in question does not constitute a campaign contribution or expenditure, and, thereof, the FEC lacks jurisdiction over this matter. The complaints have not and cannot present any evidence to the contrary. Accordingly, the complaint should be dismissed. So the note that Stormy Daniels had written, this letter goes against what she wrote in that original letter, but only slightly, in that she did not receive the money from President Trump. However, she did get the money from Mr. Michael D. Cohen himself. I don't know why he would send her that money. Something that hasn't really been discussed by President Trump, I don't think. Not that I'm aware of. It's funny that all this really didn't surface. Yeah, it surfaced in 2018, but it's resurfacing now. It's the year before the election. Part of me wonders if that payment of $130,000 was a way to keep Miss Stormy Daniels quiet until now, until before this election. I think the Democrats know that we know they cheated on the election, and there's no hiding it anymore. They use this as some sort of contingency plan. It leads me to wonder what happened before this or during this that made Michael D. Cohen change his entire outlook on President Trump. That made him change from being his personal lawyer to all of a sudden wanting to frame him with this. I mean, let's be honest, this whole thing, if there was even a shred of evidence that they had, this would be absolutely devastating to President Trump's name. And I think anyone from either side can agree on that. It would have destroyed him. But they have nothing, otherwise they would have released something. You know how they play. We all know how they play. I know President Trump did. He's got the evidence to back up that he had nothing to do with it. They have nothing that they've released to the public. I saw the outright, I can't even call it bias at this point, because it's more than just bias. They're absolutely out to get him. And that cannot be allowed. I have to use the law equally for everyone. And this is not equal. So what led Michael D. Cohen to become this person? To become the antagonist of this whole thing? Well, not the absolute antagonist, but definitely a massive contributing factor in this whole scandal. Well, I will show you right now. We're going to take the Wayback Machine, and we're going to talk about 2018. What happened around 2017, 2018? The Steele dossier, the Mueller report. The Mueller report, the Steele dossier, we know what bull they were. The interesting thing is, Cohen was about to follow through with these lawsuits against BuzzFeed and Fusion GPS. Now, what's important about making a lawsuit against BuzzFeed and Fusion GPS? Fusion GPS got Steele to make the dossier, and then BuzzFeed, what were they responsible for? They're the ones who published the dossier. Michael Cohen was about to push forward with a lawsuit against both of them. But interestingly enough, he dropped the lawsuits. He didn't press on with them. That was April 18th, 2018? Why would he do that? Well, this article was written in April 19th, 2018. At the bottom of this article, it says, Cohen is currently dealing with other legal issues. The FBI raided his office and hotel room last week in search of information about Cohen's $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. That's interesting. The FBI raided his office. So, I went looking through that. The article that the paragraph links to was written on April 9th, 2018. The search was court authorized, meaning that a federal judge allowed it to occur without requiring any advance notice to Cohen. So my question is, what if it wasn't hush money? What if it was payment for something else? This FBI raid happened much later after this. I wonder if Michael Cohen had someone talk to him. I'm going to make the timeline real quick. Pardon moi. So just prior to the 2016 election, we have Michael Cohen had given $130,000 to Stormy Daniels. And then this letter in 2018, January 30th, 2018. February 8th, 2018 is when this letter was sent. So April 9th, 2018, Michael Cohen's home was raided by the FBI in search of evidence relating to this $130,000 transaction to Stormy Daniels. On April 18th, 2018, Michael Cohen drops the two lawsuits they had against BuzzFeed and Fusion GPS for the Steele dossier and Mueller report. If President Trump he didn't have an affair with Stormy. He didn't have an affair with her, and he didn't give her any money. So why did Michael Cohen give her $130,000? Part of me wonders if Michael Cohen had a full intention of eventually one day doing something like this to President Trump. However, the other part of me wonders if April 9th, I wonder if someone talked to him, got a hold of him during that FBI raid in order for him to change his mind, so to speak, in terms of his allegiance to President Trump. After the FBI raided his home, then he dropped the lawsuits that he was going to press against BuzzFeed and Fusion GPS. He didn't press them, he dropped them. Why did he pay Stormy Daniels out of his own account? Why did he pay her $130,000? Maybe he himself had said affair with Stormy Daniels. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, maybe that was it. That would make sense though. That would make sense though if he was paying Stormy Daniels $130,000 to cover up his own affair that he had with Stormy, not President Trump. Cohen may have had an affair with Stormy Daniels. At that moment, I could see why he wouldn't have wanted to blame President Trump. I have a feeling that's why his lawyer sent that letter, was to clear him of any wrongdoing. So February 8th, 2018, Michael Cohen's lawyer cleared President Trump of wrongdoing. It would make sense if April 9th, the FBI raids made him change his tune. The FBI went to Cohen's home to raid him to figure out what was going on with the $130,000. Hello, this is future Bailey talking. So I misspoke. What I meant to say was, well, the FBI knew about it, and they were trying to find dirt on Cohen, and then they wanted to, set him up, make some sort of deal with him, so, yeah. Carry on. It would make sense if he was trying to cover up the fact that he himself had the affair with Stormy Daniels. And the best way to help, the Democrats keep quiet about all of his misdemeanors, all of his affairs, the best way to do that is to drop the lawsuit they had out for BuzzFeed and Fusion GPS. That would make sense. Oh, shoot, man. Oh, shoot, man. Yo, wait. Yo, that would make sense. Oh, snap. Yo. Dude. Did you do the dirty? Did you do the dirty with Stormy? And it would make sense that the best way to help the Democrats keep quiet is to pin the blame on President Trump. To give the Democrats a reason to go after President Trump, even if it's absolutely futile, which obviously it is, because President Trump had nothing to do with it. Cohen, you are such a slimy little thing. Man, Michael, Mr. Cohen, you are, I think you're trying to cover up for something. Ooh, buddy. You slimy. You are slimy. I think that was the worst mistake you could have made, buddy. If that's what happened, you reap what you sow, buddy. You reap what you sow. So, in summation, reviewing all these articles and whatnot, I think Mr. Cohen and Stormy Daniels, let's just say they got it on, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's what I think. If you liked anything from today's video, please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, check out my other social medias like Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, of course. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye.